Hello friends, welcome to the video lecture series on importing data in a Python. So in the last tutorial we have seen about how we can fetch the data in a Python DB. So we have fetched the data with the help of two query, db.movie.find, db.person.find. In a movie collection we have seen a total 3 documents, and in a person collection we found total 2 documents. Now let's see how we can fetch those things in a Python environment. Okay, so for the Python environment we are going to use the pandas library. So let's just import this pandas as a PD. And another important is Mongo. From the PyMongo we are going to import a Mongo client. So we have already installed this PyMongo. Mongo client. Now let me just execute it. Okay, we have successfully imported both the necessary import stuff. Now first we need to make a connection. We need to make a client where our MongoDB exists. So we are just going to create this MongoDB constructor, and inside that we are going to pass this localhost, as we are running this whole MongoDB server on our local system. By default this MongoDB runs on this 27017 port, and let's assign it to the client variable. And from the client variable we are going to apply all those kind of DB selection, collection selection, and all execution of all queries on the top of MongoDB. You can even change this port while running your MongoDB server. So when you start your MongoDB server, one extra parameter you can pass and you can change this port, but by default it will take if you don't pass any port. So that is the port 27017. Now okay, so we have successfully executed. Now if you see this, it has created one client object, and client object is nothing but the localhost 27017. It will connect, and connection is true. That means connection is successfully applied, connected successfully. Now we have one database which is nothing but the test. So let's apply this test and let's assign it to the DB. Okay, so we have selected this test database DB. Now we can apply all those kind of query on the top of it. So one is the movie collection we have, and another one is the person collection we have. So let's just write this query first, that db movie dot find. Now whatever the data it will fetch, we need to convert it into list kind of object. So let's just wrap it up to the list. Now once we have a list available, we can create we can supply this whole object to the data frame constructor, and it will return us the whole data frame object. Once the data are available in a data frame object of the pandas Python pandas library, you can straight away go and analyze all those kind of thing on the top of this data frame object. So let's just assign it to the df1, and we are going to apply this data frame. Okay, let me just run it. Okay, it has created this df1 data frame object. We can go and visualize it here. So I have to shown you that there are total 3 documents were available, and one is the name Titanic, Iron Man, and a Terminator. So it has successfully imported those data into df1. Now all those kind of functions which are available on the top of this data frame object, we can apply on this data frame, and we can analyze those data. But this collections or this movie collection has a very simple kind of records were there, simple kind of documents were there. If you see another collection what we have seen in the last tutorial, the person collection, it has a little bit more level of hierarchy. One is a name, age, and address itself contains a number of things like a number, street, and a city. So how we can import those things into data frame? So let's just do it. let's just create one for first query. So person dot find. Now let's just wrap it up to the list, so it will create the list object for us, and let's assign it to the data. So it will create the data. Now if you see this data, or it has just imported all those data in a form of dictionary. Every single record is a dictionary, and combining all those dictionary will create the list object. Okay, so IDs, address, age, name, and all those things. Now let's import those data into data frame object the same way we did it earlier, this way. So we are going to use in this case df2, and we will just supply this data. Okay, so it has created this brand new data frame object from us from the person collection. So if you see this thing, it has successfully imported this name and age, but in case of address it has not parsed everything, because if you see, address itself contains another level of hierarchy. It has another three properties like a number, street, and a city, but it has not parse those things, and every single field inside the address is been accumulated in a one column of this pandas data frame only. But let's, if we want those things to get it normalized in a because whatever the data was were coming, that is in a form of JSON. So we have one function in a pandas, JSON underscore normalize. So let's just use it. So for that we need to import JSON underscore normalize function from the pandas IO JSON. So we are going to use pandas from the IO module, and inside the IO module we have a JSON, and we are going to import the function JSON normalize. Okay, we have successfully imported. Now we'll just apply this JSON normalize to our data, and we'll assign it to the another brand new data frame object df3. Now let me just run it. So it has created this df3. Now if you see this, that it has already normalized address.city. I'll just and another is I'll just make it little bigger, address.city, address.number, address.street. So all those three things as a part of address attribute, it has accumulated into three different columns, so it looks very nicer and visible. Age is anyhow different, and name is also different. So that's why we can import those Python inside the Python programming environment with the help of this data frame object and pandas library from the MongoDB data. So that's all about this lecture, friends. I hope you enjoy listening this video, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe it.